Welcome to the global headquarters of IoT Diagnostics here in beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio. Excited to spend a few minutes with you today to talk to you a little bit more about how we are helping our industry predict the unknown with the industrial Internet of Things. And I want to show you a few cool tools that we've introduced to help that happen even better, even faster, and available now. And so as we've come back here into our R&D workspace, we're going to walk you through a couple of those tools in real time in an application. But before we get there, I want to talk to you about pain. Because I think most of us know this guy, and maybe some of us are actually this guy, because this is the emotional reaction to unplanned downtime. And that's the big problem that we've been trying to fix. And while the IoT is a great solution for that, I would also argue that I think this has been the emotion for most people's IoT journey over the last few years. But I think you'll like what we have today, because I think we can finally attest to this issue. But I think what causes some of these, I got three key issues that I think causes some of the headaches that people have experienced with the IoT over the last couple of years. Let's talk about the hardware. I find it hard to find the actual curated, specific for fluid power and manufacturing hardware and smart sensing technology that you can get and ready and easily to deploy today. I think the second piece of that is the ability to actually configure and get that data scaled and properly on a network so you can see the information. And I think third is the problem of the sexy dashboard, because everyone has a sexy dashboard now. But the challenge with that is I think when you would find the dashboard first kinds of companies is they don't understand our industry like we do. And so while you may have the nice sex appeal at the beginning of that dashboard, it doesn't take long to get under the hood and see how impractical a lot of the information actually is when you know how your machine needs to work and you know the information that you need to see most importantly. So that's where we'll start. And so for us, we're tired of all the headache and we're tired of the issue, and we're going to tackle that pain head on with what we call IoT now as easy as 1, 2, 3, because we believe IoT should be simple, available, and scalable. And how we're going to do that is through the three critical pieces of the puzzle with our end-to-end IoT experience. And those three pieces, those are deployable hardware that's meant for fluid power and manufacturing. That's a really savvy connected tool called IoT Assist that gets your devices up, networked, and configured faster than ever before. And three, a remote data experience that is geared and curated for our customers in the fluid power and the manufacturing space to make that data most important. Fortunately, historically, you may have to go to three different, multiple, even beyond that, vendors to pull this together. Not with us. All three of them, right in our experience, turnkey for you. So let's dive in a little bit more and show exactly what we mean by deploy. So we're going to talk about a specific application today. You know, we're fluid power guys, and the most critical piece, at least we feel, we'll always tell you the stories in the fluid. So anytime you maybe have a downtime issue, you should check your fluid, which is why we're really big on fluid monitoring, specifically for particle counting. And so all of us are probably familiar with this little guy. This is a Hydax CS1000. And so this is going to look at your ISO 4, 6, and 14 particle counts in your fluid. And frankly, you should always stay up in real-time information on that data that's coming through, because at any given moment, an event that would cause an inrush of those particles at higher levels are going to cause indefinite downline degradation of your pumps, filters, anything like that. So it's really pivotal to be able to have access to this information quickly, easily, and in real time, anytime from anywhere. And we can do that now with our Dock 4. And so our Dock 4 is set up as a connectivity and a gateway module to pull that information out of an actual running piece of fluid monitoring equipment that we have over here. So we've got fluid running through, we're taking a sample, and so the installation environment is already ready to go. The challenge historically has been, now how do I get that online now? And that's where the Dock 4 and our configuration tool work together to make that happen. So let's pop back over here on the TV screen so we can talk a little bit more about this. So this is that second piece, that connect piece, and this is what we call our IoT Assist. And so what you have here is I have a gentleman off screen who's actually smart casting his cell phone screen onto the TV here with the IoT Assist app deployed on his phone. And so we're going to come in here and we're going to scan for our devices. And so typically what you're going to see here as the devices begin to populate is you may have multiple docks set up here or multiple devices. And so we're going to be able to select the device that we want to configure. So let's go ahead and select the top device here. And we're going to have a menu of different configurations, whether we want to do fluid monitoring or power unit monitoring. But we know right now that we want to do the fluid quality monitoring with contamination. So we're going to select this kit. And as we get into this kit, we have a really cool opportunity now to get this all configured and set up easily for our ultimate remote experience, that third piece. And so let's go ahead and name the device. For today's video, let's call it CS Demo for what we're trying to do here. And so as CS Demo becomes, then this is a really critical piece where we can actually set our initial alarm thresholds right now before we actually get into the app. So we're going to go ahead and set our alarms. But I think for the sake of this video, let's actually go ahead and move the ISO 4 alarm down to like a 12. And so this is going to be really important because when we get this online, I want to trigger an immediate alarm so that we can actually see the value of the equipment that we're doing here. So let's go ahead and confirm this. Great. So the kit has been selected, so all that configuration, boom, done. Now we're on to the networking side. So we're going to go over here and set up our Wi-Fi network. Hallelujah, we have this program to once you go ahead and get your password in the first time, it auto remembers it. So we're going to go ahead and provision this device very quickly. And so what you're going to see now is a really nice visual indication that the device is getting set up on the Wi-Fi network. So this typically should be no different than setting up a home printer, a home router, anything like that. Visual indication of how quickly the thing is coming online, so you know. And if you would look off screen right now, you would actually see the dock's lights moving around and letting you know that connection has been made. And so now, last piece of the puzzle, we're making that handshake with our remote data experience that's ultimately going to have this piece of equipment set up and online. And just like that, green, we love green, so we're going to jump into the third experience. So let's go ahead and set this back up to the laptop that we have over here. And so just as a refresher, so now, very quickly, we've done deploy, we've done connect. Let's get to where the goods are at over here on the detect, because this is where the data is going to come in. So I'm going to go ahead and jump. This is again on a laptop that's happening in real time right now. So I'm going to go over here. I'm online, so I'm going to refresh my system. And just like that, in a matter of seconds, probably 90 seconds or less when we ran through the IoT Assist app, the CS Demo is available for us to start running data. And while I will tell you a little bit more about this kind of home fleet experience, I want to actually dive into the device with you first. And so now we're in basically the device monitoring specific mode. And so what you'll see here is pretty quickly, I think based on our initial setup, we got what we wanted. So we know that we set in a 4 alarm threshold, and immediately once we deployed this device, that alarm threshold triggered. And I'll tell you, this happens quite frequently where a maintenance tech, they have something they feel in their gut that something's not quite right with their system, and we'll deploy some IoT for them, and in a minute or less, they feel confident and reassured, maybe not so much that they know they have a problem, but that they knew that they had a problem and now they can validate it with data. And so as we're talking about the data here, I want to let you know how and why we designed this device experience like we have. So I'll scroll through this momentarily, but this is around being very understanding of the time tax that our end users typically are under. So they're super busy, and so the way that we have this set up is very quick indications of health, then on down to trending style, so being able to go back up to 6 months to spot kind of long-term trends that may be happening over the life of the monitoring. And then we'll get into pattern monitoring. So we're actually recording events, alarm events, when they happen. And so it'd be really easy to look over time and say, hey, why are my particles spiking maybe every third Tuesday of the month? Is there something operationally that's going on? And so we'll do a quick run through of what that could look like. And by the way, you can come into the app at any time. Let's say you got a little overzealous on that initial alarm setup, and you've got one too many SMS or email alerts. At any time, you can come in here into the gear and re-update what you want those alarm thresholds to be. And you can also go up here to the hazard at any time to clear those alarms. And so as we scroll down through here, yep, we sure did it by a good 5 micron here. So we set our thing at 12. We're coming in real time right now at 17.3. That's certainly enough to trigger our alarm. Maybe we should look at our varnish situation here at IoT HQ. Anyway, and so we'll come down and we'll look at our trending here, and then we'll also look at the event log that I showed you here as well. And so as we come back to our initial view here, main takeaway, because we're going to have more content coming your way to get really into the specifics. But all I really want to show you here is, one, we really love the design of the fleet view here. So if you have 5, 10, 20, 50 devices. All of them are really easy to see and understand, and anytime any of them are in an alarm threshold or experiencing an alarm, they'll auto-prioritize, go red, and shuffle to the top. So if you have 50 devices and 3 are in alarm, you will know immediately, because again, we want to play to the time minimums that you have to be able to know what's going on as quickly as possible. So again, I'm super thrilled. Thank you all for spending some time with me today. Hopefully you've realized that we've made IoT now as easy as 1, 2, 3. So remember, single take today, we were able to get a device configured and online and posting data in a matter of minutes. That's something we're really proud of here and can't wait for you to experience it in the field. So if you want to learn more, visit us at iotdiag.com. We look forward to working with you more. Thanks.